This story was sent by a follower, and what she lived through is something many women might be experiencing in silence. She asked for her name to be changed, but gave us permission to share this story as a warning, a reflection, and a message of strength. When Lara met Raphael, she was in a phase where she believed true love only existed in movies. She worked in a small office, struggling to pay the bills, and had neither time nor energy for relationships. But Raphael appeared like a breath of fresh air. He was charming, confident, and above all, generous. He owned a tech company and had a considerable fortune. Imported cars, international trips, expensive gifts, he made it clear he wanted to take care of Lara, protect her, and offer a new life, far beyond what she ever dreamed. Lara hesitated at first. She didn't want to feel bought. But Raphael seemed different from the other wealthy men she had met. He didn't flaunt his money out of vanity, but used it as a tool to make them both happy, or at least that's how he made it seem. An irresistible proposal, or almost. 6 months later, Raphael proposed to her during a trip to Tuscany. Everything was arranged like a fairy tale, vineyards in the background, a candlelit dinner, a ring inside a glass of champagne. Lara said yes, enchanted not just by the gesture, but by the feeling of finally being seen for who she truly was. She quit her job at his request. "There's no point in you working if you don't need to. I want you to enjoy life," he said, and Lara accepted. She started attending exclusive clubs, language classes, gala events, spas. She lived what many would call a dream, but little by little, that dream started to feel like a trap. The beginning of the end, the first signs came in subtle forms. Raphael began to criticize small things. "That outfit doesn't match your new lifestyle. Why are you still talking to that friend? She's not on our level. You don't need to comment on the business." "That's my area." Lara began to realize he didn't just want to take care of her. He wanted to control her. Always with a smile, Raphael limited her choices, her friendships, even her opinions. And then came the final blow, the betrayal that destroyed everything. On an ordinary afternoon, Lara received an anonymous message with screenshots of a conversation between Raphael and another woman. At first, she thought it was fake, a cruel joke. But when she confronted him, he not only confirmed it, but said something she would never forget. "You're great to show off, Lara, but there are things you'll never understand. I need someone who speaks my language in business." And in bed, she was kicked out of the house that same day. No money, no job, no support. She found out all the accounts were in his name, even the apartment he claimed was ours. Nothing was really in her name. Not the car, not the credit card, not even the bank account she used. She had been erased. The hardest rebuild ashamed and heartbroken, Lara moved back into her mother's house. She cried every day. Not because of the loss of luxury, but because of the feeling of being deceived, used, manipulated. For months, she stayed silent, until one day, she decided to write about what had happened. She started with blog posts, never mentioning real names, just trying to let the pain out. To her surprise, thousands of women began reading and sharing their own stories. What started as healing turned into her mission. Lara created a support network for women emotionally dependent on wealthy and abusive partners. With help from volunteer psychologists and lawyers, she began giving talks, interviews, and founded a project called Freedom Has No Price. She found a job, went back to school, and today she leads a social project focused on empowering women. She lives a simple life, but with a light in her eyes that luxury had never given her. Lara's message: "Raphael took me out of my world to shape me into his. But what he didn't know is that I'm unbreakable. All he had was money. I have essence, strength, and a voice, and that ... can't be bought." Moral of the story: be careful with love wrapped in luxury that hides control. Not every grand proposal is a gift. Sometimes, the most valuable gift is keeping your autonomy, your principles, and your freedom.